What's going on, everyone? This is Jags Central, and I hope you're all doing well. This one wasn't as fun as last week. The Jags go on the road to Cincinnati and lose a game they absolutely should have won, fall into the Bengals, 31-27 in the dying moments of the game. This one felt bad. It was sloppy, undisciplined, and it was self-inflicted by the Jaguars. And this kind of reminds me of 2 years ago when the Jags were 8-3, top of the AFC South. Not the top of the AFC South, top of the AFC, ready to go 9-3 against the Bengals, against Jake Browning. And once again, it's deja vu. We lose to Jake Browning. When he came into the game, I was thinking, all right, cool, surely we should win this game now. Like, this is a game we should win. After getting those 3 interceptions as well, I was thinking, this is where we're going to win this game. We're finally going to get our revenge on Jake Browning. But once again, Jake Browning beats the Jacksonville Jaguars once again. But before we walk through the game, I just kind of wanted to talk about the big picture takeaways for me in this game, because the loss really came down to a few key things. Like, number one, the miscues killed us this game. Like, last week, I talked about the penalties being a huge issue. But even though we won the game, the penalties were quite significant last week. But this week, the Jaguars' biggest opponents was themselves. Trevor Lawrence had 2 costly interceptions, and the receivers, De'Ami Brown and Brian Thomas Jr., just had critical drops many times in game-winning moments. One time for De'Ami Brown in the end zone, and the other time, twice actually, for Brian Thomas Jr. on a 3rd down that led to an interception, and a 4th down, which would have kind of got us either into the end zone or would have gave us a fresh set of downs. But yeah, this was kind of an undisciplined game, and kind of a huge step back from week 1. And to be honest, we could have easily been 2-0. Second thing, the defense gave the game away. The defense gave the game to the Jaguars, and the offense threw it away. The defense, again, fantastic. 3 interceptions. That's 6 turnovers now in 2 weeks. And that's amazing from the Jaguars. Last year, they only had 8. They're already on 6 already. They gave the offense short fields and extra possessions all day long. But what did the offense do with it? They only scored 7 points off these 3 turnovers. Last week, I even spoke about it many times. I spoke about it during the review of our game against the Panthers, that the issue that we had last season was that we would get turnovers, but we wouldn't turn them into points. And that's why last season we lost quite a lot of close games, because we weren't turning turnovers into points. Last week we did that. We got turnovers and we turned it into points. But this week we squandered them. Like, in the NFL, if you lose a points off turnover battle, you're not gonna win that. So that is where we significantly need to do better next week and moving forward if we want to win games. The third thing, I kind of thought it was a regression game from Trevor Lawrence and the receivers as well, but it could have been a game where Trevor Lawrence and the receivers have 100 plus yards. Trevor Lawrence has 5 TDs and only 1 interception, but it's just that type of game where it kind of falls on those minimum things, and it kind of didn't fall our way this game. The O-line, I'm definitely going to say they were great again. They only gave up 1 sack. They gave running lanes for Travis Etienne and also Baishal Tootin, which was fantastic. But the passing game was out of sync. Like, Trevor made some bad decisions, which ended up in 2 picks. One of them wasn't his fault. I kind of put that on Brian Thomas Jr., who kind of... the ball was fizzing to him, but didn't really make an attempt to catch the ball, and it went straight into the defense's hands. And so, I kind of think, Brian Thomas Jr. this game, brutal day, brutal game for him. Multiple drops, didn't look like he wanted it. Like, as I've been saying, I'm recording this on Tuesday morning, but like in the last 24 hours or so, it's been... some of the videos coming out in terms of like showing like how he didn't want to catch those balls. Oh man, hopefully it was just, I don't know, it's just a one-off, and we kind of get to see the Brian Thomas Jr. that we all know going into the game against the Texans, because we really need him. So let's just quickly do a quick run through of how this frustrating game kind of played out. The first quarter, it actually started really great. The Jags marched down the field on the opening drive. Trevor hit De'Armond Brown for a 9-yard touchdown. The defense came out, immediately forced a 3 and out, and it looked perfect. And I was thinking, this is the type of start we need, especially against this high-powered offense in the Cincinnati Bengals. And then we get back into the end zone, and this is where Trevor Lawrence probably would have wanted this back. He threw an interception, and the Bengals took the ball, and then the Bengals kind of took momentum from that and drove 8 yards to tie up the game 7-7. So a chance for us to go up 14 ends up for us tying up the game. We kind of go into the second quarter now. The offense had bounced back. Travis Etienne ripped off a big run, and that's his second big run in 2 weeks, which is looking promising because this is Travis Etienne from 2 years ago. Last year we didn't see this Travis Etienne. Baishal Tootin, the rookie, got his first TD on a catch from Trevor Lawrence, which was really, really good to see, especially on the week that we traded away Tanks Bixby. Really nice to see that. We've kind of kept our a duo backfield. We were back up 14-7, but then the miscues returned. A tip pass off Brian Thomas Jr. led to another interception. The defense had held Cincy to a field goal, but it was another gift. So right now, the offense has scored 10 points off Jags turnovers, and then just before the half, we did manage to go up 17 on a field goal, and Eric Murray grabbed an interception right before the half to keep that lead as well. The third quarter was kind of back and forth. As we know, right now, Jake Brown is starting. Joe Burrow is out for the game. The Bengals came out and scored a touchdown to tie the game, making it 17-7. The Jags defense answered right back with an Andrew Wingard second interception of the day. And the offense capitalised this time, and with VTS scoring on a screen pass to make it 24-7. But a huge kick return and a questionable penalty set the Bengals up, and they hit a deep ball to tie it right back up at 24-24. And in the fourth quarter, this is where the pain just started. We put together a long drive, but had to settle for a field goal. We go up 27-24. That's fine because the defense did their job, and this time Denver Lloyd gets a game-stealing interception, and that's what should have been. It should have been a game-stealing interception. And the offense had the ball in the red zone, but they just couldn't convert it into points. So now we get to a point where we're on a fourth down, and Liam Cohen goes for it because we're up 27-24. A field goal doesn't really do anything for us because there's enough time on the clock for the Bengals to go up and get a touchdown. So it's a go situation, nevertheless. And I kind of agree with him as well because we have to go for it, score that touchdown, and then the game is essentially over, we hope. The ball goes to Brian Thomas Jr. on a 4th and 5. Doesn't catch it, and then the Bengals have to drive up the field. I think it was about 95 yards or so, and they managed to do so. There was a very questionable pass interference call on Travis Hunter. I don't think that was a PI call, and that was clean from Travis Hunter in my opinions. But that kept the hopes up alive for the Bengals, and they eventually ended up scoring the game-winning touchdown with a QB sneak. A brutal way to lose. So where do we go from here? Like, we were meant to go up 2-0, but now we're sitting here 1-1. I'm kind of left with 3 big questions, like the discipline of the team. That's 2 weeks in a row where penalties have killed us, and then this week was penalties, drops and turnovers. So the team don't look prepared right now. I kind of feel like that falls on Liam Cohen, the coach, but he has to get this fixed immediately if we want to win the AFC South, especially with the Texans being 0-2 now. Number 2 is another thing why I kind of put this on Liam Cohen as well. Like, the passing game is out of sync. Like, for me, I felt like Liam Cohen coming in, this is going to give this offense a fresh breath of fresh air because he's a young coach, he's an offensive coordinator or an offensive guy. I kind of thought this is going to be a season where we're going to see the offense be much easier for the Jags, to make it easy for Jags on offense, but it hasn't looked like that way so far. But then at the same time, you can't do anything when your wide receivers, especially your wide receiver 1, is dropping game-sealing passes as well. Number 3, can the defense keep this up? Because the defense are playing absolutely amazing. Like, they've got 6 takeaway in 2 weeks, and that's incredible. But we have to understand the probability that the team are going to keep this up is not going to be significantly high. So hopefully that they keep getting these turnovers and the offense can turn them into points as well. So disgusting loss, especially for two reasons. Like losing to Jake Browning again. I'm not saying it's him being a bad quarterback, but it's just the manner that we've lost these Bengals games to Jake Browning is just annoying. And then the other annoying thing is that the Texans, like I mentioned, are 0-2 now. So there's no time for the Jags to feel sorry for themselves. It's division week. We've got the Texans at home. The Texans are sitting 0-2 after the loss to the Buccaneers, and they've got their own problems. But this is a massive, massive game, because if we win this game, it's a divisional rival. It's at home and it's a must-win. And we go up 2-1 and they go 0-3. That kind of gives us that buffer. But if we lose, then it's tied 1-2 for both teams, and it kind of puts a downer on and starting the season quite well. So the one thing that the Jags need to do is they need to come out focused, they need to come out disciplined, and they got to come out to prove that the team that we saw against the Bengals isn't who they are. So that's my take on a disappointing week 2. What are your thoughts on this loss? Who do you think is to blame for this? And let me know in the comments down below. As always, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to Jags Central for breakdowns all season long. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you for the Texans game.